Hello, Mike. I'm Bruce.
Hi, Bruce. Pleasure to meet you.
This is Elsa.
Hi, Elsa. How you doing?
I'm good.
What's y'all down here for? Obviously for the Super Bowl.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Checking out the crowd.
Yep.
Yeah. You got any particular place you're going to go tonight, or?
We are just walking around to see the different things that are in the stages, and been to the huddle up to see the race cars, and then going down to the zip line.
There's a lot of people down here.
Yep. So what kind of student project is this?
This is actually for a church. We're out of Martinsville. I don't know if you know where that's at. With Martinsville Baptist Tabernacle.
We do.
Yeah. And these are some of our teens in our youth group.
Hello.
And,
We're down in Beach Grove.
Okay, all right.
We go to a Lutheran church on the south side.
Okay, good. I was just going to ask you what kind of church home you might have.
Right.
Let me ask you this question. What are your opinions on what happens after people die? What do you think happens? What is your thought on that?
It depends on what they believe and whether or not they have faith in God.
Okay, all right. So do you think there's a heaven, a hell,
Yes.
in between, nothing?
So there's a heaven and a hell.
Do you think God will punish the bad and reward the good, or I mean, what's kind of your thoughts on that?
God has said pretty clearly that those who believe in Him will be with Him.
Okay.
And those who are not will not.
So you have to have belief in God.
That's right.
Okay. Do you think you're a good person then? And think you're good enough to go to heaven?
It doesn't make any difference if what God believes, whether or not I'm a good person, whether or not I have faith in God.
Okay. Do you know whether you're going to go to heaven or going to go to hell?
Only God knows that.
Only God. Okay. Let me ask you a couple more questions. It's cold out here, and I'm sure you want to go see some more in the crowd. Do you consider yourself to be a good person?
Absolutely.
Most of us do, right?
Yeah, but it doesn't make any difference what I think.
Right. Sir, can I put you in the hot seat for a minute? Be a little prosecutory and
Go for it.
Okay. All right. Have you ever told a lie?
Yes.
How many lies do you think you've told in your lifetime?
Too many to count.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Guilty as charged. What do we call somebody when we say, hey, he's lying? What do we call that type of person?
Liar.
A liar. That's exactly it. Yep. Have you ever taken anything that doesn't belong to you, regardless of its value?
Yes.
What do we call somebody who takes something that doesn't belong to
Someone who steals.
you? Or a thief, right?
A thief.
Yeah, right. Have you ever used the Lord's name in vain?
Yes.
What do you know what we call somebody who uses the Lord's name in vain? That's called blasphemy, is what it's called. So God's given us life, breath, and we drag his name through the mud to express disgust. Fourth question for you. Have you ever looked at somebody and lusted after them in your heart? You ever looked with lust?
It's okay.
It's okay. It's like we're right there with Jimmy Carter.
Yeah, well, I'm guilty of it too. So by your own admission, I'm not judging, it's just by your own admission.
Right.
You're a lying, thieving, blasphemous adulterer.
That's right.
At heart.
And that's why I need to ask God's forgiveness.
Right.
And His grace.
And His grace. Okay, that's a good answer. So let me ask you this. Now you're standing before the judge, Judgment Day.
Yes.
He's got the 10 Commandments out there. He's got the bill against you. He says, look,
Yes.
you're guilty. You've already admitted you're guilty.
Yes.
And you said, but I said, I'm sorry. Right?
You've asked for forgiveness.
Right. Now, if you were a judge and there was a man who'd raped and murdered a woman 15 years ago, and you had him before you, and you were a just judge, and you looked at that man and said, all right, the evidence is against you, you're guilty, you're going to have to pay the crime, and you were the person who committed that crime, and you looked at him and said, Judge, I'm sorry, I've asked for forgiveness. Would he be a just judge, a corrupt judge to let him go?
He is a judge who is following the rules of our country, and he has a responsibility to follow those rules. He is not God. He is simply a person who implements laws that are developed by people who make the laws.
Right. So the criminal couldn't ask for forgiveness then, because there's already a punishment written forward.
There are two different situations. He can ask for forgiveness, but that's forgiveness to God. From the standpoint as to whether or not he asks forgiveness from the judge, that is the judge's or the jury's decision as to what goes on based on the rules of our country.
Right, based upon the law, exactly. Yeah, exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
But there's man's law and God's law.
Yes, there is. If you were to get pulled over by a police officer and you ran a red light, and he looked at you and he said, do you know why I pulled you over? He said, yeah, I ran a red light. If you looked at him and said, but officer, I ran through 15 green lights before I ever ran through the red light, do you think he could let you go through? Yeah, if you looked at him and said, I'm sorry, do you think he would let you go? He's probably not going to, is he? Because by the law, you have broken the law, and you have to pay the crime.
That's right.
Right. In Romans, it says, for the wages of sin is death. So when you sin, that's the crime.
Right.
And the punishment for the crime is a place called hell. So with that, and you've got you're going on the right track, you're thinking the right way. Do you know what Jesus did for you 2,000 years ago?
He die for our sins.
That's exactly it. You understand the legal implications of that. Let me explain it to you this way, and then you can tell me what you think, if this makes sense to you. Nope. I guarantee you, I could probably do it. I could probably do it in a minute or less.
Okay, do it in a minute or less.
The bottom line issue is this. We've broken God's law.
Right.
There's a fine to pay. The fine is hell for eternity.
That's right.
So either we have to spend eternity in hell, or somebody else has to do it for us. And that's why Jesus Christ died on the cross.
Right.
He is our substitute. He went to prison, so we don't have to.
Right.
He suffered eternity in hell, so we don't have to.
Yep.
So knowing about him is not enough. Agreeing that he paid for the crime for us is not enough. It is putting our faith and trust in him that allows us to go to heaven when we die.
Right.
So has there been a time in your life that you've trusted Jesus Christ as your personal Lord and Savior? That's wonderful. That's
Can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm preaching to the choir.
Oh,
Thank
it's
you very
okay.
much.
We're just doing an interview, so that's wonderful. I thank you for taking the time to talk with us. And your name again was
Bruce.
Bruce. All right, Bruce.
This is Elsa.
Elsa, pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much for taking time. Stay warm. It's cold out.